Okay, so I hope that you saw the blinders you had on when you watched the videos of treatments, and I asked you, hey, how would you treat it? And all of a sudden I went and looked at another complete different part of the body. All right, so now I've got to get you into the idea that you can create what's a 7-step routine for every session, right? And anybody, any therapist can use it no matter what treatment technique they use, no matter what condition they're treating. Oftentimes we're told we have to use this form or this protocol for this and this for something else. Well, I'm telling you that's not the case, all right? So what I need you to see is that there's a pattern of the way we all treat. And when you find that pattern, you'll begin seeing that when you're failing, you're skipping something. When you're succeeding, you're probably having all that stuff done whether you know it or not. All right, so what I'm trying to show you is, guess what? Just with like algebra or let's say math, there's steps to solve a single digit addition problem and a double digit one, a triple digit one, which means it's more and more complex, right? Or the multiplication problem or a calculus problem. There's steps to follow. If you get them all, chances are the result is going to be positive. Same thing here. There's 7 steps that allow a clinician to have what's up to 7 times less failures. All right, so now look, I'm just going to read, I'm not even going to review them very quickly. I'm going to show you some things that you're going to say, yep, I do that, or nope, I don't do that. So again, first thing we want to do, second tech, is start with something your clinicians use or do every day, which again, that's treatment. So we're going to start with a treatment session. Now we've got the standards we talked about. Now we've got them understanding that they've got blind spots on the way that they can treat going into different regions of the body. Now we need to get them in the routine of feeling like, hey, I'm so close to understanding using the full body. It doesn't mean I have to go learn a huge amount of stuff. This is all it takes. Now this looks like a lot of writing, but we actually have it all on one form. I don't want to take you, but basically we're going to test initially. Every single session, I'm going to go back here because I don't want you to read it. Every single session, we're going to test the full body. Upper extremities, two exercises. Trunk, a couple exercises. Legs, a couple exercises. And we can do that, all right? So we're going to test for yummy and yucky by motion, or we can do it by touch and joint play, but which is manual therapy. Upper extremity, spine, and lower extremity. We can all do that, but we haven't. I got to ask you, when you start every session, do you test a full body or are you mainly staying in a region of injury? Boom, this will make it so that you're not doing that, that you're actually opening up to this full body picture. Now, that's something 98% of clinicians don't do. What we all do, sorry, this is smaller, is we test the area of the region of injury, right? The thing we don't do is we don't do it methodically, like going front, going to the back, extension, going out to the side, abduction, going across, adduction. We don't do it in an order, bent or straight extremity. Weight bear. Oh, we spelled it bear. Oh, that's funny. Weight bear. Is that right? Okay. Now I'm confused now on that. What body position are we testing in? Standing, sitting, kneeling, on all fours, belly back, sideline. All right. And then these exact same things we can do with touch and manual therapy too. When we're testing motion, are we going anterior to posterior, posterior to anterior? You get what I'm saying? Inferior, superior, et cetera, et cetera. So that's testing the area of injury. Most of us do some sort of order or some sort of thing. We're doing a bunch, but it's not methodical. So if you just say, yeah, I'm not as methodical as I could be, boom, that'll help improve things. And then we just got to record it. We all record something. Again, don't read all this. We have it all on one page, but we use a scale of 1 to 100 rather than 1 to 10, just gives us more room to work. But we're going to score anything that we found yucky, not just in the area of injury, but in the full body. Now, what's really wild is we've got then a way in which to treat somebody. All right, so we know that basically if you'll start with a trunk, you'll have massive success with 80% of your people. If you'll go to the opposite of something yucky, you'll do tremendous success with that. Now, typically what you guys have been doing is you've been looking at something yucky and you've been treating the yucky. Well, if you do the opposite, now it depends on what the opposite is, right? It could be front to back, it could be left to right, top to bottom, diagonal, depends. All right, now, I'm not going to explain what insymmetry is or anything further, but if you could just pick any yummy motion that you tested in the body and use it, you're likely to get improvement too. These four things are not known. Those four things I can also relate to, but I'm not going to today. I can relate to this is what we're also doing when we treat yucky. And then there's exact progressions that we're all using no matter what we're doing. If we would do that, and then after we choose a treatment and only treat for 2 sets, you're going to do a joint mode, treat for 2 sets of 20 pushing into joint modes, right? Pushing into end range joint modes or something. If every single time after 2 sets, we would recheck the issues that we found when we tested the full body in number 1 and the area of injury number 2, we would all get to the point to see, oh my gosh, when I'm down in my ankle, it's changing my shoulder maybe. You would begin to see this patterns that I am seeing or I'm showing people in TMR. You would get out of this idea that the region of injury has to be used to fix the injury. You will find out that, oh my gosh, those other 3 regions really do powerful stuff and oftentimes quicker. And then, hey, what do we do if something gets worse or something is better? What do we do if it fatigues or there's little change? And what do we do if it's worse? Right? We've got all those answers there. And then we've even got the answers of when do you get to move to another exercise? When do you get to be done? If you can do that and you can put on one form that not only your patient, your therapist can follow, no matter what technique they use, no matter what condition they're treating, and they can give that recipe to their patients. We literally take this and we say to the patient, read number 1, that's what we're doing right now. Hey, read number 2, that's what we're doing right now. And you can do that at home. Hey, read number 3, read number 4. And as they get help doing this, they only see us maybe an hour at a time, maybe some of you a half hour at a time. What are they doing the other 23 hours of the day? We're educating them on it, all right? It's really awesome because now we're teaching them how to make the chicken noodle soup, if you will. We're giving them the recipe to get out of pain. And that becomes the power of setting up a routine that everybody can follow. And when you have that in place, now you have each person still having the flexibility of their own techniques, right? But following a process that we know as they step through it, they're so much more likely to have success. Cool? So again, this is another thing that I lead your staff through when we train them in the Total Motion Release seminars. And again, it's no additional charge. It's just something that I really like to do to really help owners in the same place that I used to be in to, again, get more patients to complete treatment and be excited about treatment. They will have more improvements even in the first week that will catch every session. They'll keep getting 50% better and 50% better. So it's really cool to see typically.